Hey everybody, and welcome to Flippin Pages. Now, in this video, we're gonna look through an old magazine, a magazine from 2004, in fact, October 2004, and this is Harbinger Magazine 14, issue 14. We did another flip through of Harbinger in a couple of years back, and I only just found this, so as you can probably tell by now, my storage is not so great, and I've got things almost everywhere. So whenever I find them, we feature them. That's how it works, more or less, until I can find a better way to do things. Anyways, so we're gonna look through Harbinger, and for those of you who are around or gaming during this period, this could be a look back in time. It definitely was for me. For those of you guys who are new, hey, this is what we used to paint. And for those of you guys who are interested, some of these miniatures are still available. So yeah, let's flip through very, very quickly. Starting off, we have Mathrangul, and this is from Reaper Miniatures. Let's see if I can show you this to you with like that. Now, Reaper still has this on the catalog, so you can actually still get Mathrangul from Reaper. Fenrir is also still in business. So they put an ad in, and they also. So yeah, if this is interesting to you, go and have a look. Fenrir is still around. Awesome. And then we got the table of contents. Now, first off, we have the news. Now the news was new. It was good. It was brand new back then, but this is pretty much old news. But the cool thing is, you get to look at a whole lot of like old miniatures, and you can tell that during 2004, the whole confrontation was pretty much the thing to go for. All these nice looking confrontation miniatures. You have like, look at that. Now if you actually used to play confrontation, this is like a blast from the past. Now if you haven't and you do not know that these existed, go and have a look at the secondary market, man. Some of these miniatures are still available. You can actually check them out if you like. And then we have Cold Navy. I remember wanting to get some Cold Navy miniatures. You can still get them now, but I just found out that they are with Raven Star, and this happened around 2014, I think. I just double checked. So yeah, it's basically a naval fleet battle, pretty much like Firestorm Armada, pretty much like Armada, Star Wars Armada. So yeah, if you like stuff like that, go and have a look. Cold Navy, they've got some nice figures as well. And then we got miniatures from Apocalypse Miniatures, and then MSB Toys. I always thought MSB Toys was such a strange name for a miniature company, but there you go. Anyways, then you have Urban Mammoth, another company. Well, they don't exist anymore, pretty much, but they've got some really nice figures to check out. So that's Urban Mammoth, and then here's some news which I totally forgot existed. Now, what happened was Urban Mammoth did a collab with Italiari for Alzo Zero, which is kind of cool. And then we got let me see now, Savage Worlds, and we have West Wind, and then Aberrant. This is about the time when Aberrant was just coming out, I think. Resolution was just coming, which is I wanted to get into it, but like I said, the wallet did not allow it to happen. So moving along, we've got some freebooter miniatures. Have a look, and then we have some Harbingers. Now the thing about this magazine was Harbinger was they have their range of Harbingers that you can actually get and buy, and you can collect them all. And this one is the Harbinger of Pestilence. There you go. And then you got Soul Wardens for Dark Age. Man, Dark Age, yeah, 2004 was pretty much, lots of Dark Age as well, and then Sabertooth Games. Now this one put a smile on my face, because Sabertooth Games had this slider thing. It was like their response to WizKids clickers. Now, while WizKids had clickers, Sabertooth had sliders, which I thought was interesting. So you had the base, and you could slide your stats on the base. So yeah, Sabertooth Games, and this is for Lord of the Rings. Moving along, here's something also that does not exist anymore, and this is basically Anakin's Nin Gonost And what this is it's basically a dungeon crawl where the dungeon pieces are magnetized. So it's a great idea. It's just a shame that it didn't really like it wasn't really super successful. But anyways, this is a scenario that comes with the magazine. That's what magazines like this were for, you know. Giving you more scenarios to play with, or suggestions of games. But yeah, man, Adikan Nin Ganos Adikan. Yeah, magnetic tiles. So it's basically tiles that you can magnetize and put together. Very interesting idea. And then here's some character cards. Now, these are Griffin Miniatures Greys. I finally managed to get a hold of these. And I'd like to thank David. Thanks, man. Thanks for us putting this in the trade for figures. Now I own these Greys. Thanks so much. Alien Encounters. Anyways, moving along. We have the Great Train Robbery. Now this, while right now rule sets like What a Cowboy, is popular. This is a cowboy or western rule set from the Legends of the Old West, which is basically a Games Workshop game. Which I thought was nice to like browse. Hey, look, a Games Workshop product. Of course, it's under Games Workshop Historicals, but it's kind of fitting though, because I feel the shop slowly moving into westerns at some point, with everything that's happening. So it's nice to see that Warhammer Historicals, Legends of the Old West has a scenario here, for us to like have a look at, if we intend to have a scenario to play. Anyway, Simple Games Miniatures is an advert, and then there's an article on Confrontation. Again, if you're a gamer of a certain vintage, this is a blast from a past. This game was so good. The range is fantastic. It's just such a shame where it went. It was pretty much at the time of Pretender to the Throne. It could have been a contender, I tell you. Anyways, this article is the Griffin Empire of Akilani, and it's basically a breakdown on the whole faction, and what it means to play it, right? The Griffin Empire. That's nice miniatures as well. And then, as if you did not know that Ragnarok or Confrontation was the flavor of the month. You got a Sinwall ad here as well. Sid the Kyber. I was thinking this it's you get the novel and the miniature, if I'm not mistaken. And this was when the Sinwall, you get a Sinwall miniature, which I thought was it's a great bargain. I mean, these days, Corvus Belli does it, miniatures with books, but back in the day. Anyways, we got Masterclass Conversions, and this is another Confrontation piece where you convert Asamon the Formor of Dun Scythe, and it's done slowly. As you can see, a lot of pinning involved, but articles like this really are evergreen. You can actually go back to these articles and actually look and see if there's anything that you can pick out, and there'll probably be a lot of things you can pick up from this as tips, for your hobbying now, even though this is an article for 2004. Next up, we got Urban War, and Urban War. This one, it's gone pretty much, but the figures are not bad. I mean, look at that. It's really nice looking figures. They had their little terrain thing happening as well. Urban War, Urban Mammoth, the Void 1.1. Let's have a look at the figures, really. As you can see, it was not bad either. It's very evocative. And then we got this game from the Figure Trader, Sabotage Into the Dark, as an advert. And this was coming soon in 2004. And then, let me just show you, since it's no longer around. Man, look at that. I mean, dude, they're quite nice looking. Very, 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 very nice looking figures. And the art that accompanied it was not too bad. Nay, too bad. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice looking. Pity. Urban Mammoth. Anyways, moving along, we have Masterclass Terrain. And this is Spanish Islands of the Spanish Man. This is from the I don't know if any of you guys remember, there was this card game where they used paper ship as... You know what? Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Right, so I'm back, and it's basically for these ships. It's basically card ships they used to make. I mean, you buy the pack, and it's blind packs, and you get packs like this, right? And this is for, you know, long range, is for short range, and then you build your ship, right? You build your ship from really flat card into something like this, which I thought was really kind of cool. I think, you know what, I should do a not a review, but a retrospective look at this game. The game was not bad. It's very, very nice looking. Anyways, that's not the point. The point now here is this is a masterclass on making terrain, or, you know, terrain craft. Now, if you're reading through this, you can actually use this for any of the new, you know, naval games that are out. You know, you can use it for Mantic's Armada. You can use it for building islands for let me see now, Black Seas. You know, if you like, you can, you know, modify them a little bit for Cruel Seas. You know, maybe not Cruel Seas, but yeah, Black Seas. You know, it's an article that, you know, it's, like I said, it's evergreen. It stands the test of time. Okay, let's moving along. We got an article for Hybrid Siege in Darkness. Now, what Hybrid was a dungeon crawl board game made by the guys who made Confrontation and Ragnarok, right? So this was their dungeon crawl. But, you know, you can tell there seems to be a constant, like a guy, you know, companies that have fantasy rank and file will release fantasy, you know, skirmish, and then there will be a dungeon crawl at some point. This is not new. I mean, 2004, you know, they were doing this, you know, with hybrid Ragnarok and Confrontation being the Triumvirate, I guess. Okay, moving along. This is Cleanse, and this is basically a third scenario for the Guises online campaign. I wasn't part of this campaign pretty much, but this was also a time when you know, online campaigning was kind of coming into its own back then. Yeah, actually, but, you know, if you ask me, Eye of Terror, the Warhammer Eye of Terror was the most successful one. This one, I'm not so sure how well it did, because I think 2004, I don't think I had a proper, you know, internet connection for me to get on regularly. I was still using a lot of magazines in 2004, so I probably missed this. But having said that, this is basically a scenario for that online campaign. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, moving along, we got Spotlight on WorldWorks Games. Now, this is kind of sad as well, because what this is, it's basically card terrain or print terrain that you can actually, like, you know, build into nice little ships and stuff like that. You know, I know one of our guys, Scott. Yeah, I mean, Shinobi. He got into this big. In fact, I think some of his games, a lot of his games were using WorldWorks games. Very nice looking stuff. Very nice looking, evocative looking terrain bits. But what's happened is the company slows down, and I heard and I read that the guy who behind it, Danny Unger, is making VR games. So okay, all right. Okay, so moving along, we have the showcase. Now, back in the day, we didn't have like things like Cool Mini and art and stuff like to browse. So magazines like this were like invaluable to look at different miniatures, right? This basically, you see what other people have done with their miniatures, and these 2 pages are for the Dark Age miniatures. Everything from some Forsaken, some special edition figures, Dragiri, you know, and stuff like that for the Dark Age range. And then as you go in, you got some Iron Metals for variety. You got some Rackham. There you definitely have some Rackham. Then you got some Privateer Press. That's another company that's pretty much gone. And you got some Games Workshop, some Old Sisters of Battle there. Some Reaper, more Rackham. It's pretty much the snapshot of the popular companies of the time. Yeah. Then you got Games Workshop here, Rackham, more Rackham, and then Hassle Free. A nice addition there, Hassle Free, if you ask me. Okay, next up we got Dark Sword miniatures. They're still around, Dark Sword, which I just double checked, and they're still around. Hurrah! 2004, they're still around. That's really cool. Okay, moving along, we have the Art of War, and this article on Dark Age warbands, and then ad for Ragnarok, and Ragnarok is supposed to be their uh, block warfare. Instead of like single miniature, it's rank and flank more or less, which I thought was kind of cool when it came out. I mean, the art's like really fantastic, man. It's really beautiful art. And these are all the these are all the starter boxes that you can, not starter boxes, but unit boxes that you can actually get, and stuff like that. Very, very nice, very, very beautiful. The art direction for Rackham, was superb. Was for its time. In fact, even now it looks really, really great. Moving along, we have step by step, and this is a painting guide for the Viridian Colonial Marine, and this is for Void. Yeah, it's kind of a pity. But tips are tips, and if you were to find this magazines like this, you'll find them in the bargain bin or somebody is selling them, just pick them up. Tips like this stand the test of time, if you ask me. They do. All right, so next up is a step by step, and this is step by step guide to painting Apocalypse miniatures. Which it is the Imperial Infantry Sergeant, which I thought interesting that they put this here. Why? Because it's nice to have a look at what the figures, you had a look at the figures back in the day, but it's nice to have a figure featured, and see how they got it done painting. But stuff like that, stuff like this, tips like this stand the test of time. I mean, if you were to go back and read something from even back in the 1970s, of course they didn't use acrylic, but most of the painting tips using acrylic now, or even 2004, are pretty standard. I mean, there are some trips and ticks that you could use, and different colors that you might see how it works, and tips and their thoughts behind the painting, which I thought was kind of interesting. Anyways, now we have the Warlord from Reaper. Now, a quick story though. When I was down in Mantic Games in 2010, now one of their staff asked me if I knew anything about Warlord, and I honestly thought he was referring to Reaper Warlord. So I said, yeah, Reaper Warlord, I know it. He says, no. There's a company now in Nottingham called Warlord Games, and I did not know it existed. So that's kind of crazy. 2004, I went down to see Mantic, and Mantic pointed me towards Warlord Games, which I thought was like kind of nuts. And now, 2025, Warlord Games is one of the big players in the industry, if you ask me. But yeah, back in the day when somebody said Warlord, I honestly thought it was a Reaper Warlord. But anyways, moving along, you got reviews Rackham miniatures over here, Viray, and then the Karates and stuff like that. And then you got new releases from MSB Toys. Yeah, look at the elephant-headed guy here. And then you got Atlantis Imperium, some releases, and it's really nice. They got Free miniatures. Hanako. I think I've tried painting this one, Hanako. It's in the bin somewhere. I've got to finish it. I don't think I finished it. And there's lots of hassle-free here. Very nice to see them get some review space. I mean, they're going through a really hard time at the moment. So it's nice to look back and on better days. But let's hope they come back. Anyways, moving along. We got Assassin Miniatures, and then we got Freebooter. That's another company that I'm glad is featured in this magazine. And then Thunderbolt Mountain Miniatures, excellent. Anyways, there's a subscription, and then there's a competition for this life's Blade Trinity. Not the greatest movie, but hey. And then an ad for Adrian Smith's original artwork. And then these were the days when Ironwind Metals, could afford to do lots of strong ads for their company. I mean, Ironwinds, they're going through a hard time as well at the moment. So yeah, let's hope everybody bounce back well. And then finally, at the back page, this is the Harbinger of the Hunt. Remember I was telling you earlier that each month or each quarter there's a new Harbinger, and this is the Harbinger for this quarter, this period. I think only 1,000 made, very, very collectible. Harbinger of the Hunt, very nice looking. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That is Harbinger Magazine issue 14, December 2004. That was not very long ago to me, but like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and when I find something else in the storeroom, I'll bring it out and do a quick flip through. Apart from that, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.